I bet.
We're back again.
After
Don't, please. I'm so sick of that joke.
8 days. Please. Just
Kill me.
my job is to annoy Tyler so much that we don't finish these games.
Oh, don't worry. We'll finish these games.
I walked forward quite a ways, then turned right where the rice field ends. You got TY. I had never come here before, so I had no idea where to go. I got lost several times, so I may have taken quite a long way around.
I fucking forgot.
Maybe I should have gone home and gotten my bike first. Is it his uncle? Or her uncle? It
Don't
would
worry
have made everyone else worry if I asked them. So I asked one of our other classmates where Satoko's actual house was. The house was originally her family's, and apparently not their uncle and his wife's. Their house had been bigger, so they had taken it for themselves. Right here. Several houses all in a line. Over there? Tepe?
You want to star as our resident uncle?
Oh, would I?
I was visiting Satoko's house, but didn't particularly intend to meet her there. I didn't mean to spy on the enemy, her mean uncle either. Maybe I just wanted to be a little closer to her as her Nini. I hope that how this chapter ends is Keiichi kills Satoko. Kill Satoko?
Why Satoko?
I hope that that's how this ends. I know that realistically this chapter ends with him killing her uncle, right? Like, that's where this is going. Let's be real. Like, let's be honest with everyone in the room. He's gonna kill her uncle. Come on.
Okay.
That's where it's going. Like,
That's what you think.
come on. But I want it to end with, like, he goes, like, after he kills her uncle, he goes extra crazy and, like, kills Satoko to permanently save her from, like, the world, you know? And it's, like, a tragic ending.
Oh my god.
That would be great. That would be
I
gold.
can't imagine a tragic ending happening in this
And
chapter.
no.
Not after the first two. There can't be a more tragic.
No. Maybe I just... Oh, I already read that. Pretty words, but I didn't know if they were true. If what Tomatsuku and the others told me was right, it'd be this house? When I recognized it, my feet grew heavy. What? What did I come here for? My motive for coming here was absurd. When Mion had said at the end that we were powerless, it made me sort of frustrated. I just wanted to do something, anything other than waste the days away praying for a miracle. That's what made me come here. But that was all. Even if I were to witness her uncle actually tormenting Satoko, what could I do? Keiichi's gonna fucking kill her uncle. Would I act like a comic book hero? Punch the guy in the face and take Satoko away with me? And then live together somewhere far away? That was ridiculous. I'm powerless. And then he just goes home.
Mm-hmm.
The cicada's voices raised in chorus. This sounded like they were scoffing at me. As though they were saying that I couldn't do anything, and wouldn't do anything. Then I should go back home. I heard a car approaching, so I got out of its way. But the car stopped right behind me, its horn honking shortly once. Annoyed, hadn't I gotten out of their way? I looked behind me, and a familiar face was looking at me out the driver's seat window. Oishi?
My boy!
Okay.
It's not
There's a
Oishi.
potential German pedophile. I fucking love Coach.
I love Coach. Coach. Okay. Good luck.
I'm still trying to decide what my fucking uncle voice would be.
We got a minute.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta get into fucking...
He's gotta be the medic.
I actually have to take off the headset. 'Cause I have not worn it. You want this? I've not worn it while doing his voice once.
Hello, my Barasan.
It's so off. It's so off.
He's getting there.
How unexpected to meet you all the way out here. Do you live nearby?
It's so off. It's so off.
Me being here wasn't normal. Just as I considered somehow giving him the slip, I noticed Satoko sitting in the passenger seat. This is Satoko?
He's the guy has a potential pedophile as a girl in a car. Has a child in a car.
He's already kidnapped her.
Coach.
Hey, Coach, just
In before big twist, Coach is Sadako's uncle. Sadako got out of the car and began unloading a lot of groceries from the trunk. I happened to run the Coach on my way back from shopping. He said he'd bring me home, so I accepted his offer.
Satoko-chan, she wouldn't have been able to carry all those groceries on her bike.
As Coach spoke, he pulled Sadako's bike from out of the back seat where they'd put it.
You guys need to stop. Making too much background noise.
Not doing anything.
The grocery bags were big, and there were 4 of them. They all seemed to be packed full and very heavy. Those bags, 7 smart? Hey, isn't that a little far to go by bicycle? I looked at the bags and saw that they were filled to the brim with sake bottles, snacks that you'd eat with sake, and boxes of cigarettes.
Wild that she can fucking buy
I was gonna say, the fact that she's buying cigarettes and sake is like an 8-year-old fucking child.
The only thing you
She's
have
not
to,
8, she's
the
like
only
12.
thing you have to do is push a button saying you're 21.
Are you minor?
Really?
Yeah. Damn. No, that's dead ass. Do you know about that?
No.
In like convenience stores, if you buy alcohol in Japan convenience stores, the only thing they do is like you press a button on the screen that says you're 21.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Bruh. They're
Because no one because no one really abuses it.
Really?
Yeah, no one really abuses it. So no one really says anything or does anything about it. That's just how it is. Honestly.
Their weight was one thing, but their contents were nothing less than luxury items. I made it thanks to Coach. He helped me out. It was a little difficult going up those hills. Sadako gave Coach a smile filled with gratitude, but it was incredibly awkward and even heart-rending?
Rending.
Heart-rending. Sadako, these groceries aren't for dinner tonight, are they? Of course not. I do not drink sake and I hate snacks. Of course, I don't smoke either.
Who hates snacks?
She doesn't smoke.
My 3
Her
things.
voice.
Sake, smoke, snacks.
My big 3.
My big 3.
Money, pussy, weed.
He made Sadako go to a distant store by herself on bike. So she could buy dumb shit like this. Keiichi's gonna fight him.
Well, at least for cardio.
What was that uncle doing right now anyway? He must have been working up a good sweat at this very moment if he needed to send Sadako out by herself, right? If not, then how much had Sadako suffered for no reason? I hadn't intended to voice my feelings, but they may have made it onto my face. That's crazy.
Crazy, Cage. That's never happened
That's
before.
never happened in
Never
a
seen
game
an
before.
emotion before.
No, his emotions are really just. There's a fucking
Screen?
a screen on his face that his emotions go back. his thoughts are like blinking there, and they're just going across his forehead.
Like what they show in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Laugh.
laugh.
I don't think there was construction on where you came from.
In front of the racetrack?
There says an airplane had landed on Cobb Parkway. It was blocking all lanes.
When we drove past the raceway, they had construction crews out opening shit. But yeah, the plane might have been fucked up in a different part. The exact part we drove by with the raceway had a fucking thing.
That's all I'm saying.
When did they emergency land a plane?
Like
9 hours ago?
That wouldn't have fucking affected. Raggle fraggle.
What was
When
it?
they couldn't have the plane.
Wait, was it a personal plane again or like a commercial one?
This is all the information I have.
Breaking news, plane.
Alright.
We're 5 months too early for that one.
Too soon.
Dude, it's gonna be like 30-20. It's gonna be like 30-21 and
Wait,
people are gonna go too soon.
The pilot of a small airplane walked away with only a minor wrist injury Thursday morning after crash landing on the median of a busy Cobb Parkway, not far from the county's airport.
King?
This is the second time this has happened.
Yeah.
Do you remember the dude in Kennesaw who's driving his own personal plane and crash landed it?
Yep. I remember reading about that ages ago.
People just need to stop buying planes.
I'm willing to bet it's the same.
He wants a menace. He just wants
Can't
attention.
drive.
He wants attention, bro. He just wants to be on the news.
A coach might have noticed because he clapped me on the shoulder. Just then, one of the house's windows clattered open, and the face of a vulgar man, the very sight of which made me immediately avert my eyes, emerged from within it. There were no self-introductions necessary. My gut told me that this was the uncle in question. The first thing out of his mouth should have been words of gratitude for Satoko. Satoko!
The peak.
Oh my god.
You left the heat for the sake on when you left, you half-wit!
Punished.
Sad. No!
I feel horrible.
This is your fault, Dylan. You are saying this.
I can't wait until Cajun kills me.
I'm sorry, but you told me to go right away.
You idiot!
Oh my god, my ear.
All that brewing I did for nothing.
Oh my god.
All that brewing I did for nothing. Idiot!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Satoko miserably apologized over and over, bowing again and again. She could be perfectly described as a small animal.
Hey Keiichi, why are you treating Sadako like she's an animal and not a human being? Smile.
I had no idea what was happening. Satoko finished shopping for all this heavy stuff that wasn't even for dinner. She only managed to come back because she ran into Coach and he drove her home. If she hadn't been found by him, she'd surely still be by herself, panting and moaning, pedaling her bicycle up that steep hill. What was with those words? Those horrible, sleazy words that he had said to Satoko? In what country's dictionary did it tell him to say such things? To a young girl who just finished shopping. My anger, of course, wouldn't reach him. The uncle displayed no interest in me, instead shouting at Coach.
Oh, if it isn't Dr. Irie. Hello!
Why is he from New York?
Why don't you come on inside too? We're in the last round so you can get in right away. 100 yen per 1,000 points, and anything goes.
No. No.
Renna? Oh my god.
No.
You know,
Oh my
it'd be
God.
really
Can I
fun.
leave to go be on my own? I've got the whole world.
Come on, Dad.
Satoko-chan. No, I'll pass, Zenku. I just ran into Satoko-chan and gave her a lift, is all. I'll be leaving now.
Oh, nah, come play around. You got a lot of money, yeah?
I don't even understand what her uncle and Coach were talking about. But I knew one thing was for sure. None of what he just said had been to thank Satoko in any way.
Oh, what are the big three?
Sadako, could you bring us the damn snacks? And start getting those beers chilled, too. Go get us some cold ones from the fridge.
Here, you're one of his buddies.
Oh, I'm one of the.
You're one of his buddies. You gotta get your New York and raspy old man accent out.
God, I don't know how to do a raspy New York accent.
Just do New York. Just do New York.
Tae-chan, you're being harsh on her. She looks so sad. You should take better care of her.
That's good. That was good.
That was very good. You sounded 70 years old. That was perfect.
This is how I gotta treat her. She's been like this since she was with my bro. Spoil her and she ain't gonna listen to a damn thing you say. Shit.
Whatever. It's your draw, Tae-chan.
Tsubaki-san. Tsubaki-san, the clip.
The narrator got infected.
What?
What is that?
Oh,
I thought that was a narrator.
No! Oh my god.
Send you.
Tsubaki-san declared Riche too.
Let me finish reading this page and I'll look at what Tim sent.
Sorry. What? You rolled in Ricci again?
Tsubaki.
Tsubaki from Solier?
What?
It looked like it wasn't just her uncle. Some of his friends were over.
Now I'll look at what Tim sent.
Hey, wait.
What? Now it's back to the narrator.
Everyone's becoming a brass New Yorker.
Gamer. Hey, wait. What was he... No. What were they doing? Playing Mahjong, dude. Flinging rude words left and right? Making Satoko go shopping for your beer? What were they doing?
You gotta start getting depressed with Satoko here.
He looks so punished.
Just get in her Sylvester the Cat and then go over.
My uncle's friends came from town, and they're playing Mahjong. He told me to prepare dinner for them as well.
Sounds like a
What?
depressed Sylvester Cat.
What the hell? Mahjong? He called his friends over for Mahjong? They were too busy playing so that they sent Satoko to buy them a crapload of booze from a faraway store? And the first thing he said to her was how she left the gas on? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What does this guy think he's doing? Who can get lost in some dumb game of Mahjong and send Satoko to buy all this stuff? Even though Coach was listening, he pretended he wasn't. There was a line of heavy-looking shopping bags lined up on the ground next to the truck, or the trunk.
Satoko-chan, Mayabara-san, you help too, please. You're a boy, you get to carry this heavy one.
Coach, you're gonna let this slide? This is completely... Coach pretended he hadn't heard that violent outburst either. When I thought about it later, his reaction might have been the best thing he could do in that situation.
I'll carry two of them myself. Come on, help us carry them. Help us carry them, please.
The bags were packed to the brim with bottles of sake and bar snacks. They were so heavy, and so filthy, so unfair. They weren't just heavy in terms of weight, they made me feel mortified. Nothing could have been heavier than that. She just looks so punished. She looks so sad. I'm not gonna be able to handle the rest of this game with Sadako fucking looking like this, dude. Oh my god. Keiichi-san, there's no need to push yourself. I'll carry it. Sadako mistook my biting back the humiliation as grimacing under the weight and offered to help. Stupid. Don't underestimate me. Sadako had never looked down on my physical strength in the slightest. Gura. Gorp. Coach, I'm sorry for you too. It must be heavy. No, not at all, answered Coach, smiling vaguely.
No, not at all. I have no idea how to do
But
his voice anymore.
and I alone knew. Coach was an adult, so he just knew how to keep his feelings from showing. There was even more anger than I was feeling, burning deep in his eyes.
Well, haha, it is heavy.
Gah. Shit. It wasn't very far to the doorsteps of Sadako's house, but the bag squeezed my palms and started leaving red marks. Gah. Fury welled up in me, and the back of my throat stung. But even if it all came gushing out, it wouldn't solve anything. So, just tightly gritting my teeth was as much as I could do. Really, thank you so much. Both of you. You really helped me here. After we carried them back to the back door, Sadako said that was enough. Occasionally, we'd hear the repulsive laughing of her uncle and her friends. What?
And her friends from within.
Oh, her? Oh my god. Manga gamer!
Manga gamer. Occasionally, we'd hear the repulsive laughing of her uncle and his friends from within, and my insides would seethe. I knew they weren't ridiculing us.
Satoko, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd.
And that was what made me so mad. They'd made Satoko shop for all this heavy, selfish stuff, then ignored her and laughed amongst themselves as they pleased. It was deeply aggravating.
I'm just gonna put, like, all of us laughing at once as, like, an echo in the background.
Oh, that'd be so, like, just me in the back. No, I was literally gonna say, you should, like, overlay just... you should just have, like, an audio clip of me, like, smoker coughing, and just play that every once in a while. Just the exact same one.
Of course, Coach had to have felt the same way. But if he accidentally let his feelings slip onto his face, he'd only cause Satoko more worry. He knew all that, and spoke coolly, as if to say he didn't care.
Not at all. I'm happy to be of help for you. If there's anything else I can help with, please tell me.
Yes, I'm really happy you feel that way. That he feels that way. Those words were sad. Satoko herself was sad and resigned that we could only help her so much. This chapter's about to not be okay.
That's what we've been waiting for.
That's what we've been waiting for.
I don't like this. I don't like this chapter. But she was right. No matter how much Coach or I wanted to help Satoko, this was as much as we could do. I felt absolutely ashamed at not having the power to help her any more than this. Burning, boiling emotions were bubbling up within me and rising into my throat. Trembling all over, I almost started to cry from my fury. Keiichi would angry cry. Me too. If there's anything I could do, I'll help you whenever you need. So, hang in there. I wanted to at least give her those trite words, saying that I'd help her whenever she wanted. Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy just that you came all the way here when you didn't need to. Satoko seemed to have guessed what I was doing in a place like this, when my house was in the opposite direction from school.
Alright. Nope.
Yep, Satoko.
Satoko.
Alright, you should get going. They're drunk right now, so there's no telling what they'll get mad at you for. She felt guilty getting us involved after we'd helped her, because she wanted to be the only one to suffer this misfortune. That's how it looked, and it hurt. I handed my supermarket bag over to Satoko, and then I noticed on the back of Satoko's hand, there was something that looked like a bruise. Hey, Satoko, what the heck is that bruise? I knew as much as anyone else how transparent that sounded. I didn't need to hear it from Satoko to know how this bruise came to be. I just slipped on the stairs and hit it a little. Please, pay it no mind. You're lying. Coach nudged me in the back, and then he put his index finger to his mouth to chide me for being so loud. Really, thank you so much. Until tomorrow. I hope we can see each other at school. That's not what I'm talking about. I asked you how you got that bruise on your hand. Keiichi's about to get, like, fucking decked by Coach. The evening glow got to a point where I could see the others' concealed oval-shaped bruises and traces of swelling on her neck and her legs and other places too. I fell down the stairs. They can't hit me with this music right now, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
They fucking, I can't get hit with the MIDI chorus right now during this shit.
This is the emotion.
Go!
This is the sad, like, penis fucking emotional Higurashi.
Pulling her emotions out!
The very moment my violent, rampaging emotions were about to burst their way out of my throat, I found my mouth being tightly clamped down on. It is Coach! The Coach was pressing down on my mouth from behind, wrapping around me tightly with his hands. Because of that, I couldn't say anything. I could only groan, which I did. That was all I could do. I needed to expel all the magma sitting deep within me, because otherwise I'd surely explode into a million pieces that very moment. So I groaned. I groaned. From my mouth. From my whole body. While heat fell in drops from my eyes. I groaned and groaned. I groaned to the point of exhaustion.
Connor, you gotta hold in.
You got it all in. Cover your mouth. and go.
Like that.
Are you getting murdered?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Cage is feeling, right? Like, Coach is holding him back and he's like, he wants to kill someone right now. You have to embody that.
Oh man. I fucking hate this game. I'm just gonna use your twos, fuck that. I wrung absolutely everything out of myself. Even having lost my voice, I was still wringing it all out.
I understand how you feel. I really do, my son. Please, please, just do it for now. Please, I'm asking you, my son.
Endure it for now? And then what, huh? What would happen to her? To Satoko? Her body and mind were wounded, and she was being made to suffer like this. Can you not even let me howl in vain at it? Is that it, Coach? Are we this powerless? So powerless that we can't even fucking scream from the bottom of our hearts?
They used the fuck word in this game.
They sure do.
Why can't they just call him please?
Because
They tried that one time, and it went horribly wrong.
there's a history. We'll cover it tonight.
The voices of the Higurashi made me calm down. I didn't know how long it had been. Satoko abruptly gave a slight bow. Thank you very much, Keiichi-san. Satoko. You looked a lot like my real Nini just now. My real Nini may not be here anymore, but I have another Nini named Keiichi-san. Yeah, you got it. I'm your Nini. And when you're in pain, I'll help you no matter what. Your Nini will rescue you for sure.
Did she just father zone him?
Brother Zone.
Oh, even worse.
Satoshi Hojo. You fucking idiot. She is like 11. If not now, then when? Sadako, she's never been in more pain in her life. If her Nini doesn't save her now, then when will he? Why did you run away? Why did you abandon her? Why did you leave Sadako behind? You don't have any right to call yourself Sadako's Nini. I won't run away. Huh? I definitely won't run away. I won't run away. Oh god.
Oh.
I won't run away and abandon you like Satoshi did. No way. I will not abandon you. Slip. Tears trickled down from Sadako's eyes. And then she narrowed her eyes into a smile. Goodbye, Nini. Sadako took her right hand and awkwardly waved it to me. I'll be alright. My Nini now helped me so much. So I'll be okay. I'll do my best. Until tomorrow. I'll be okay. So for today, this is goodbye.
There's no way it's just today.
There was no way that I could just say, bye, see you tomorrow. And then from inside the house came a throaty, disgusting voice.
Satoko!
Oh my god.
Could you bring us the snacks already?
Okay, Nini, get going already. I'll be fine now. Hurry.
Let's go, my son. Staying any longer than this would be a bother to Satoko-chan.
Coach, Nini
Nini's house is a little far away. I'm sorry to ask you this, but could you take him home?
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that.
Coach grabbed me by my collar, and with strength I couldn't have imagined him having, started dragging me away.
Just fucking just dragged along like a fucking dog.
And I, unable to oppose him, started getting farther away from Satoko. She waved her hands to us, expression still dark, and disappeared through the back door. Coach got into his car first, then turned around on a narrow path and brought the passenger side door around for me.
I know how you feel so well, it hurts. No, I think I understand it even more than you. But right now, just for now, please, endure it. She understood exactly how you feel, so please, endure it. If you don't...
I know already. I'm sorry. Thank you for before. I meekly got into the passenger seat. The car accelerated quietly, and Satoko's house grew farther and farther away in the rearview mirror.
Car sound
Why is
effects
this
and
so
my
loud?
Higurashi? Is there a car in my room?
I thought it was from the highway.
Brooklyn's apartment POV.
Dude, actually.
We made a wide turn, and I couldn't see her house anymore. Is your... Oh, this is...
Is your house that far?
I'm so up this voice right now.
Is your house that far away? It's in the other direction from the schools. It's in the other direction than the school, isn't it?
I didn't bother to reply. I would have been hard-pressed to give him an answer to why I went to Satoko's house. Coach didn't say anything more either. For a while, the two of us were silent, the only sounds from the gravel spraying over the road as we drove. I remembered how Rena said things were different than last year. At the time, she had Satoshi with her. Satoshi protected Satoko, so that less of the sparks fell onto her. But now, Satoshi isn't here.
That's the unfortunate truth.
Coach seemed to understand what I really meant when I said that.
It's a terribly sad, cruel story, but there's a limit to our resolve, our efforts, and our assistance.
It sounded like an excuse, but he was right. Even if Coach and I wanted to be people Satoko could depend on, that was all. It ended at the front door. No matter how much I shouted that I wanted to be, that I would be her Nini. No matter how much I shouted that I wouldn't abandon her, and no matter how much Satoko called me Nini, I couldn't do any more than that. Where on earth could Satoshi have gone? Right, Satoshi was another story.
Coach. I don't know.
Her actual brother, Satoshi, he was in a position to protect her far, far better than we ever could. That was the cold, sad truth of the massive gulf between Satoshi and us.
Do you remember Carrie from Starbucks? Look what she commented on this post on Facebook.
What did she say?
This is like an old lady who used to work with at Starbucks.
So much good plot.
That's cracked.
I would never thought Carrie. Good God, this went crazy.
Oh my god.
What's Carrie like?
Not like that. Not upon him.
I wonder what he's been doing lately. Do you know how close we are to the end?
Yes.
Okay. Are we close?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I need to, I have to stretch my hammies out and I need fucking agua. Satoshi left home. I didn't know why. Maybe it was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, or he disappeared or something. In any case, he wasn't beside Satoko now. At the time, Satoko needed him to protect her most. He wasn't here. Why isn't he here? Satoko needs him now more than ever.
A lot Satoko-chan, a lot of people talk about Oyashiro-sama's curse, but the only thing I can say is that he ran away.
One of my friends said that one day he just never came back. He ran away without even leaving so much as a note for his sister?
Satoshi-kun had been doing part-time jobs a lot. At the time, Satoko-chan really wanted this huge stuffed animal. It ended up costing a lot, so he was doing all sorts of part-time jobs in order to afford it. He felt so strongly about it. Everyone was whispering about how he at least wanted to get his sister a nice birthday present, since she was being made to live in such a pitiful life. Made to live such a pitiful life with her uncle and his wife.
In the end, he didn't use his savings for a birthday present for Satoko.
Satoshi-kun disappeared, and the police looked long and hard as they found out that Satoshi-kun had withdrawn all of his savings himself on the day he left. After checking all over, they began to think that maybe he used all of his savings to go to Tokyo.
Tokyo? For what?
Again, all I can say is that he ran away.
He saved up all that money so he could run away? He was that selfish? But how could he just leave Satoko behind? If he was going to run away, he should have brought Satoko with him. Even now, Coach was still calm. He wasn't trying to pour any oil on the fire of my anger at all. He just waited until my anger naturally subsided. After listening to gravel being crushed under the wheels for a little while, Coach spoke abruptly.
Please understand, Satoko-chan Satoko-chan left behind arrived at the same conclusion.
I'm a burden on my brother, and that's why he abandoned me. He didn't take her with him when he left. How terrible must Satoko have felt being betrayed by the brother she loves so much.
But Satoko-chan was a very strong person. Of course, she had the support of her close friends too. But that was how she regained her smile.
Yeah.
It's just the like true crime podcast black and white shot of Satoko that really fucking got me there.
The picture of the victim.
I recall how Satoko had spoken to Satoshi so brightly when I was eating dinner with her in Rika-chan a few days ago. At the time, I didn't think any more of it than how pleasant their sibling love had been. But now that I did think about it, I realized it was like she was peering into the distance from atop a pile of tragic perseverance. She said Satoshi-kun,
She said Satoshi-kun will come back for sure. And that's when he did. She wanted him to see how she was no longer a burden.
Satoko isn't a burden. She's way better at day-to-day living than me, and she can do pretty much anything. I mean, she might fall behind Rina or Rika-chan in certain aspects, but she's way more of an adult than most people.
That is the result of her having worked so hard. Since she didn't know when Satoshi would come home. Her efforts were so painful.
Well, she lived with Rika-chan, while Rika-chan taught her how to handle everything flawlessly. All so that she could welcome back Satoshi at any time. So that she could show him she wasn't ashamed. So, when is Satoshi going to come back? I asked Coach, but knew he wouldn't be able to answer. In any case, Satoshi ran away. He left Satoko and ran away from Hinamizawa. Someone said that when you leave Hinamizawa and run away, Oyashiro-sama's curse gets you, right? Then that made sense. Satoshi running away and his disappearance. That would obviously mean people thought it was the curse, right? And they could smile as though it was were his own fault, as though he got what he deserved. Hey, Oyashiro-sama, whoever you are, not a fat cop named Oishi. Satoshi didn't vanish because he ran away. You demoned him away with your curse, didn't you? If that's not what happened, then I couldn't forgive him. When did Satoshi run away?
The night of the Tatarigoroshi festival last year, when the aunt was killed by the deviant. It was a few days after that, on Satoko-chan's birthday.
So Satoshi killed the aunt, right?
I don't know. Did she? Did he? Did she?
Did they ever reveal who the criminal was that killed his
He's
aunt?
a drug-addled... Yeah, the druggie.
Yeah, but did they name drop him?
No, we just know he died from sport.
Crazed of
You saying Satoshi's a druggie?
Satoshi injected
That's what he spent the
himself.
money on. His ketamine.
Satoshi bought like a shit ton of ketamine and used that bat and beat the aunt to death and then killed himself in jail, you know?
Uh-huh.
It was on Sadako's birthday. That's her birthday present. On Sadako's birthday? Bang. I slammed my hands on the dashboard in front of me with all my might. Not Coach's car. Satoshi, of all the days, he could have chosen to run away. Their aunt just died a few days before, didn't she? All your days of suffering were about to end, weren't they? You were just about to start thinking about a new life, weren't you? It's wrong to be happy about someone dying, but for Sadako and her brother, her birthday had come at a critical turning point. Their mean uncle had fled town, and the siblings would be left alone. They should have been able to be happy about that. On Sadako's birthday, Satoko was probably waiting for her brother to return the whole time. Waiting for her brother to return when he never did. Waiting with bated breath for her brother to return. Her hopes and dreams of a new life to come growing ever larger. But no matter how long she waited, he didn't come back. He didn't even contact her. Sadako, trembling in anticipation of a great president. President?
Present.
Fuck. Sadako, trembling in anticipation of a great present. Just when would she have to face the cold, terrible truth? Satoshi, you fucking idiot. We've used fuck in this, like, one chapter more than I think he has in the entire, like, series so far. I could feel my blood rising to my head, and my anger at Satoshi. I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I couldn't forgive him. Sadako still respected and adored her brother, and yet he so heartlessly betrayed her. Such a person wouldn't just come back, now when he was most needed. Yes, no one would protect her. Not even her real brother, Satoshi.
So then, she started to see you as her Nini. I was happy.
Huh?
I pray for Satoko-chan's happiness as well, but I have a position in society and a job to do every day.
Society.
I have little time that I can devote to Satoko-chan. But you're different. You go to school with her, and you're closer to her and Satoshi-kun in age. I know you think you can only do so much, but you're in a position where you can give Satoko-chan a hand much better than I can. So, I want you to help her, enough for the both of us. That's what I wish for.
Why is Coach so based? But that's... Coach, you could...
Of course, with my job skills, there are plenty of things only I can help her with. But in the same way, there are things only you can do for her. What I want to say is, we should both perform in every way we can.
Was that a little too complicated? Coach added that, but I shook my head in response. When I heard him say he had job skills, it reminded me that he was an adult, in a different position from all of us. Maybe I should ask him about it. Oh, Coach, do you know a lot about laws?
No, I know even less. No, even less than the average person. Why?
I thought back to when I argued with Mion and the others about Sadako. Our children's argument had only left us with the conclusion that we had to wait and see. But what would an adult think? What was it?
No, it was Higurashi. What was it? The child welfare law. As an emergency measure to secure the safety of a juvenile, they can force him or her to separate from their parents.
They can do that? So then, we could rescue Satoko from her uncle right away.
Satoko-chan might not want that, unless the person being abused wants shelter. Anyway, it doesn't go that far.
Sadako doesn't want it? Why?
Yeah.
Coach didn't answer me. I didn't know why he didn't. It was clear as day that Sadako's uncle was being violent and treating her like a slave. So then why? I clamped down on my frenzy's emotions and waited intently for Coach to answer. But he never did. It wasn't like he was pretending he hadn't heard me. If I had to say it, it was more like he wanted to explain but couldn't put it into the right words.
Satoko-chan probably thinks of this abuse as
Abuse.
thinks of this abuse as a trial.
A trial? This isn't some weird religion we're talking about.
You might know this, but Satoshi-kun always looked out for Satoko-chan. She have always relied on him, almost as though she was utterly dependent on him.
I'd known for a while that Satoshi had always protected Sadako from their aunt and uncle, but that was his duty as an older brother, not something to worry about.
I think that may have traumatized her. Maybe she figured out that depending on so heavily on her brother made him hate her.
And for Sadako, the current situation was a retelling of a story a little over a year ago. But this time, Satoshi wasn't here.
So I believe that now she's saying something like this. She wants to overcome this trial by herself, without relying on anyone else. And that if she doesn't grow strong, then Satoshi-kun will never return.
Now that he mentioned it, Sadako had never said a word about how hard it had been before. I figured she was being threatened not to talk about it, but I talked with everyone and we were wondering if we should report it to the Child Consultation Center.
I have heard that a social worker was visiting Satoko-chan last year.
Yes. In the end, they decided to wait and see, and we thought maybe that made her get tormented even more.
That was apparently Satoko-chan reported it herself, and as a result, the abuse. I gotta abuse.
Stick with the abuse.
I'm not Italian though.
Hey, that's pussy.
Hey, fucking walkie!
And as a result of the abuse. I'm cutting this. I'm cutting all abuses.
He's cutting every abuse out. The fucking hyper.
Abuse?
The hyper fucking cut of abuse.
And as a result of the abuse, the abuse worsened, but was kept just out of sight. She was under even more torment, and the burden on Satoshi-kun for protecting her rose considerably.
Huh? Could Sadako... She wouldn't be thinking it's her own fault for reporting it, would she? Coach nodded quietly.
Satoko-chan would probably either hate it if you suggesting reporting the abuse, or feign courage and say you didn't need to. And even if you reported it in secret, she'd probably insist to the social worker that she wasn't being abused.
Manga gamer.
Sadako always acts tough and doesn't readily admit defeat, so I could imagine that easily.
And there are strict limitations on this emergency measure. The Child Consultation Center would need permission both from the court and from the concerned party. If the abuse was known to the public, they could forcibly sell to her even if she denied it. For Satoko-chan, that would probably mean losing.
This isn't about winning or losing. It's real life. Satoko, she's...
Back on topic. After they placed her under their protection, she would be sent to a child care institution or the lake. And she would basically be living there. So it would mean moving away. And with the change in residence would come a change in schools too.
That changing schools, it has to be done. If that's what it will take for her to be safe.
Satoko-chan understands all those things. All the more reason for her not to want it.
Why?
Because Satoko-chan's reason for living is to wait at that house for Satoshi-kun to return. She was a husk, an empty shell after being abandoned by her brother. How did she find her reason to live? Try looking at it from Satoko-chan's point of view, rather than your own.
Fucking old. I felt like he was trying to confuse me with that hard to understand roundabout way of talking so unique to adults. The point was that I couldn't do anything about Sadako wanting to stay in that house, and that I should watch until she gives in. In the end, no matter what I said, Coach himself was saying to wait and see. I don't understand.
What?
If I feel that Sadako is really in danger, I will report it without asking anyone's opinion. She might not be happy with the result, and she might hate me for it, but I believe that that will ultimately be what brings Sadako happiness. Coach turned to me and gazed fixedly into my eyes. It was written all over his face. He was shocked at what such a young kid had said.
Yeah, that's a manga gamer, wasn't it?
The manga game has been bad in this chapter.
I know.
Why? Why would you go that far?
Coach, no. Rather, normal adults might not have understood. So I taught him the creed and the values that I believed in. Sadako is my friend, and I am Sadako's Nini. Why did I read it like that? Why did I say it like that? Why did I say Nini? And I am Sadako's Nini. Isn't that enough of a reason? I stared at him with a will strong and unbreakable as steel, as his eyes betrayed a tiny bit of unrest.
No, of course, that's not.
We were silent for a little while, until finally Coach said only that. Didn't we make a promise?
I'm sorry, what?
That we weren't ever going to let Sadako cry? We made a vow on that day of the barbecue party, and I didn't think about it hard at all, but Coach and I still made a promise that we wouldn't ever let Sadako cry. Coach gave a dry grin of regret, immediately apologizing for not remembering. One way or another, when he grinned like that, it made me think that his enthusiasm for saving Sadako was a tiny bit smaller than mine. He lightly hit the brakes, making a skidding noise and leaned forward.
What? What's that skidding nose?
I'm like, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my god. Manga gamer. Why is every time somebody steps on the brakes in this fucking...
They skip the car?
They skip.
Could that be your house there?
The mouse.
Oh, right, Mayabata's son would live at the Mayabata residence, wouldn't he?
Before I knew it, we were almost to my house.
The good news, Connor, is it was only here, and that's cut off in the video. Chapter 8.
What's this bit?
He's crying, I don't know, he's making faces. What?
It's gonna get weird.
Don't worry, the goofy's coming.
You ready
Connor,
for...
what do you think about the abuse of Sadako?
What do you think, Connor? This is very important.
Maybe it's time to get some agua.
Well, let's do this tip real quick, and then
Man, Satoko makes me sad.
Satoko is... What?
I said Satoko hadn't killed me.
I can't. You're banned. You're
I
gone.
did not say that.
You're banned.
She made like some
Oh, fuck, hold on.
Viet Cong joke.
I got you.
You're a piece of work.
I said nothing.
Alright, I'm reading here.
He's
Shush.
reading.
December 1st, 1981. Blank Prefecture Juvenile Welfare Division report. Do not view, do not duplicate. Case 31, November 20. Satoko Hojo, blank years old. Residence, blank. Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. 1. Consultation circumstances. Anonymous telephone SOS of child abuse. 2. Abuse situation. Anonymous claims that a female child is suffering physical abuse by adoptive parents, her guardians. 3. Family structure. Marks abusers. Adoptive father. Adoptive mother. Older brother. Child in question. Note. In June 1980, the child's parents died in an accident, and she was given to her uncle on her father's side.
Wait, is this
Her father's younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes place in 1983.
I thought this took place in 2022.
Yeah, it came out of 2004. It takes place in 2022.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Sword Online, dude.
That's why they don't have like, you know, the pocket cameras in there.
Well, they got cell phones.
You said that as Valley Girl as you could have.
I know.
Why don't they got cell phones?
Why don't they got cell phones?
Brenna?
Wish I was back in
Texas.
The ocean's no place for a squirrel. Wish I was back in Texas. Prettiest place in the world. I wanna go.
The sad thing is you can't just deafen. You can't just deafen while it's going on and just like wait for it to end. It's just like really loud.
They have to go. They synchronize pretty
I
well.
wanna go home.
It's going.
I wanna go home.
They gotta finish the song. That's the end. If you couldn't tell.
Okay.
Child concentration.
4. Child.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. We're so close. It's almost happened.
Alright. Wait, is the Flight of 87 in this because it takes place in the 80s?
Shut up. It would be the bite of 83.
That's being cut. I'm cutting that.
You missed me derail Tyler with an Among Us joke earlier.
What was the joke? Was he
They,
sus?
no,
was
they,
he
just, they
sus?
just said Among Us. Alright, shut the fuck up. Let him finish.
Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the anonymous telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked for their situation. The next day, the welfare officer on duty visited the child's home and heard what they had to say. Both adoptive parents agreed to the center's coaching, contacted anti-abuse network in the city. Both adoptive parents agreed to the center's coaching, contacted anti-abuse network in the city. As part of the suggested coaching, a district welfare officer in the area began visiting for coaching at fixed intervals. The scrawled note below is stapled to the report. Related information from former official Mr. W. Refer to the 1977 document D2-3, number 44. Ask Chief Investigator F from the city's education consultation offices. He is well informed about it. Okay. That's it.
Among Us.
What the fuck is W?
Oishi?